Hello everyone, in this video we are going to look at how we solve equations that involve double and single angles of trigonometry. Given a question, they want us to solve for theta in an equation but involving double angles and a single angles of sine and cosine. Is that okay? Here what we have to do, we have to convert the double angles into single angles, then we solve the equation. Okay, so we have cos 2 theta. Cos 2 theta is given by cos squared theta minus sine squared theta. Is that okay? But remember the equation is in terms of sine, for example the single angles. Therefore the cos 2 theta is supposed to be put in single angles of sine instead of single angles of what? Of cosine. Therefore we shall say sine squared theta plus cos squared theta is equal to 1. We shall make a cos squared theta the subject such that we replace it with the cos squared theta in the double angles. We shall have cos squared theta is equal to 1 minus sine squared theta. So cos 2 theta will be equal to, where there is cos squared theta, we shall replace it with 1 minus sine squared theta minus sine squared theta. So we shall have a cos 2 theta as 1 minus 2 sine squared theta. Is that okay? So we are going to replace this guy in the equation which was given to us to be solved. Therefore we shall have 3, where there is cos 2 theta, we shall replace it with 1 minus 2 sine squared theta, then minus a 5 sine theta. The resultant is a 4. Is that okay? So we shall expand and we shall have a 3 minus 6 sine squared theta minus a 5 sine theta, which is equal to a 4. So we shall have a negative 6 sine squared theta minus a 5 sine theta minus a 4 plus a 3, which is a 0. So we shall have a negative 6 sine squared theta minus a 5 sine theta. Now we have a negative 4 plus a 3, which is a negative 1, and the resultant is a 0. Now we can divide by negative 1. We can divide by negative 1 throughout, and we shall have a 6 sine squared theta plus a 5 sine theta plus a 1, which is a 0. Now students, if we realize the equation which we formed is in quadratic format and is in terms of a sine theta, therefore we shall say our A is equal to a 6, our B is a 5, and our C is a 1. We shall say that the sine theta is equal to negative B plus or minus a root of B squared minus 4AC out of a 2A. So we shall have a sine theta as a negative B, which is a negative 5, plus or minus B squared, which is 5 squared, minus 4. What is our A? A 6, and our C is a 1 out of a 2A. So sine theta is equal to, this is a negative 5 plus or minus a root. We have a 5 squared, which is a 25, minus a 4 times 6 times 1, which is a 24. Therefore 25 minus 24, the answer will be a 1 out of a 6. So we shall have a sine theta as a negative 5 plus or minus a 1 out of a 12. Is that okay? Yeah. So sine theta either will be equal to negative 5 minus 1 out of a 12, and sine theta 1 will be equal to negative 6 out of 12. So a sine theta will be equal to negative a half. So let us try to take the arc sine of theta, or let us try to take the sine inverse of a half. So our theta is equal to sine inverse of negative a half, and our theta will be equal to negative 30 degrees. Remember, they've told us to find all angles of theta. Those range between 0 and 360. Is that okay? So we are going to draw our circle. Remember, a circle ranges from 0 to 360 degrees. So we say that in this quadrant, all sine, cos, and tan, they are positive. In this quadrant, only sine is positive, cos and tan, they are negative. In this quadrant, tan is positive and sine and cos, they are what? Negative. And in this quadrant, cos is positive, sine and tan, they are negative, implying that our 30 lies between this fourth quadrant. Yes, our 30 will be in that fourth quadrant. It will move from 0, since it is a negative, so it will move in the clockwise direction. Is that okay? So another angle is found here, and for it we shall move from here going towards that side, and we shall have 180 plus the 30, so which is 210 degrees. Therefore the first theta will be a negative 30 degrees to 10 degrees. Is that okay? So we have to find another angle of theta, and we said that sine theta is equal to negative 5 plus 1 out of 12, and sine theta is equal to negative 4 over 12, and sine theta will be equal to negative 1 out of 3. So we find the arc sine over third, or sine inverse over third, and the resultant will be, please press your calculators, the resultant will be negative 19.4712 in degrees. We have to find other angles, and we shall come here, we shall make use of our circle. We said that all sine positive, others negative, tan positive, others negative, cos positive, others negative. So we shall realize that it lies here, and it moves from here coming to this side because it is a negative. Therefore we shall find another angle here. So we shall move from here going towards this side, and we shall have 180 plus 19.4712, and theta will be equal to 199.4712 in degrees. Therefore at that point theta will be equal to negative 19.4712